What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's scenario is, well, I'll let the title speak for itself. We'll be covering what if Jiren was from Universe 7. And no, I'm not just gonna take Jiren from Universe 11 and plop him in Universe 7. Not only would he be way too overpowered, but it wouldn't really be interesting. Instead, we're basically creating an entirely new character, one that is based on Jiren, but from Universe 7, and he fits in with the story of that universe. Today we'll be covering his backstory and how he encounters our heroes. So, we'll get to see how tied in he is with the story. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes, and once we hit that, I'll continue with a new part. Anyways, let's begin. Our story begins in a faraway planet, one in which life isn't too exuberant, a peaceful world with many different inhabitants. As we examine further, we enter one of the villages, with one of its inhabitants being a young boy named Jiren. It's sometime around age 730, where a certain evil emperor is suddenly coming into power. Jiren enjoys his peaceful and simple life on his planet. As of now, he's learning martial arts and trying to get stronger, with his wise master Gichin training him and teaching him about ki. This boy, well, he's somewhat of a prodigy. Gichin is very fond of him as well as his other students, and he expects great things from Jiren and the others. Sadly, this peace isn't lasting. Someone seeking a different kind of power is approaching the planet. Out in space, an army heads towards the planet, looking for resources. This is King Cold's army, still not yet given to Frieza. But this planet, Frieza was actually the one to discover it, and it was a huge find. It'll be perfect. They can take all the resources from it for their army, as well as enslaving the planet to do work for them. These resources will give them money and new technology. King Cold is happy that his son came up with this. Frieza may deserve a promotion. But anywho, they approach the planet, with everyone there being ill-prepared. Gichin is with all his students, and they all try to evacuate, with Jiren running into his village to help everyone. But as they try to escape, a bunch of soldiers come out of nowhere. Jiren tries to fight off some of the soldiers, and is actually able to defend somewhat. But the higher-ups in the army catch wind of this, specifically Frieza. Noticing a high power level nearby, Gichin eventually joins Jiren in the fight, helping him with the offensive part. They're able to defeat a bunch of soldiers, but the man himself shows up, Frieza. A child and his master. What pest. This child could be useful later on, but as for the old man, there's no shot. As a message to Jiren, Frieza lifts up his finger, and personally kills Gichin with a death beam, finishing the strongest person on this planet. Jiren watches in horror, screaming out, but Frieza hits him with another attack that leaves him unconscious, and gravely injured. Hours pass, and Jiren wakes up. His village is destroyed, everything's on fire, his family is gone and possibly dead, and his master lays in front of him lifeless. He approaches Gichin, but there's nothing he could do. He's feeling so many emotions right now, sadness, anger, but one is overpowering all, his desire for vengeance and power. He makes a vow to his family and Gichin. He'll get so strong that one day, he'll even surpass his master, and that fiend Frieza. He'll liberate this planet and make sure that the Cold Force is no more. For now though, he has to bide his time, remaining on the planet as one of the workers trying to stay under the radar. In his little free time, he trains, progressively growing stronger. In the same time frame, the Frieza Force is growing stronger too, and as Jiren can tell by the name, that means Frieza now rules it. They've apparently spread across the galaxy. His planet doesn't get much news about the Frieza Force, but they do hear Frieza is slaughtering other planets, specifically one powerful one named Planet Vegeta. A whole planet destroyed in an instant, everyone on it dead. And this one is only one of many. Could his planet be next? Thankfully, Jiren's come up with an escape plan. But it has to be quick, he has to be stealthy, and he has no room for error. But with his new speed and power, it should be enough. But as for what he's going to do afterwards, he's not entirely sure. One night, he's able to sneak into Frieza's forward operating base, the one which essentially controls the planet. Moving in the shadows, he avoids the soldiers, and eventually makes his way to a small airport. All is going well, but he is a bit nervous. Quickly and easily defeating some of the soldiers nearby, he quietly sneaks onto one of the ships. He locates the communications on it and destroys it, making sure the Frieza Force can't track him. Although, this means he won't know where his ship is going, but whatever. Clumsily, he pilots the ship off the base. He doesn't really know how to pilot it too well. He's done some research though. There are some planets nearby in which he can go to stay safe, and there seems to be some sort of police force out in space, but he has no way of finding them. Aimlessly, Jiren flies the ship, leaving his planet behind for good. He'll be back one day. After a few days or so of flying, he's giving up hope, until he looks up and sees. He's approaching a massive ship, one that maybe belongs to the Frieza Force, with his ship caught in a tractor beam. He's ready to fight though, but as his ship gets closer, he sees an emblem is on the side of this giant ship, and he's taken aboard and held at gunpoint. The ship he landed on was that of the Galactic Patrol. Of course they want to know what Jiren's doing, and he explains. They're amazed. He seems pretty powerful and definitely driven, and for the time being, they'll let him remain on the ship, just so he could be safe. This eventually turns into a job offer, with Jiren officially joining the Galactic Patrol. Things are looking up for him. Using their resources, he's able to train, even using their time chamber frequently. A room that can control gravity, a room that can slow down time. Everything he needs. As long as he acts as a loyal agent, he has access to all of these. And he makes great use of it. Climbing up the ranks alongside him is another person, a shorter alien named Jaco. He is relatively strong, but still not on Jiren's level. What kind of training has Jiren done? Jiren acts as an effective and loyal agent, displaying his great power and work ethic. He eventually moves up to being a captain, possibly going even higher than that. But of course, all this time he doesn't lose focus of the main case he's working on, Frieza. The Galactic Patrol is well aware of Frieza, but is powerless against him. However, Jiren wants to try and train all the troops, alongside saying he'll defeat Frieza himself. It's a huge task, but they'll try. It was around age 730 when Frieza took over Jiren's planet. Jiren escaped around age 734. It's been about 28 years since then. Age 762, a relatively important year in Dragon Ball's history. Jiren as of now is almost 40. However, he has spent a lot of time training in the Galactic Patrol's time chamber. Let's say a fourth of his time with the Galactic Patrol. Now it's time for a little bit of math. He's been with the Patrol for 28 years. And for a fourth of that, he's been training in the time chamber, where he can get 3 days of training in 1 day. And this is realistic because that would only mean Jiren's about 14 years older than he should be. He's in his early 50s, and yeah, it does sound a little bit old, but presumably, Jiren does seem pretty old in the main story. We don't know how long his race lives, but with the kind of power he has in his training, he likely is much older in canon. Or he could be way younger. Who knows? Let's call it a creative liberty. And despite his age, Jiren is still in his prime. His strength is unfathomable, and he's still set on defeating Frieza. And now, it may be time to do that, because Frieza's army is approaching a peaceful planet called Namek. Jiren is now one of the highest ranking members, right under the Galactic King himself, and he does not want to stand idly by. The Galactic Patrol is in much better shape now. Jiren's decided they should recruit more people, and train them more. Helping him is his friend and colleague Jaco, and the two of them greatly help to improve the patrol. Instead of a measly couple dozen members, they now have a couple hundred, with more ships, weaponry, resources, etc. This is why Jiren ranks so highly now, alongside his power, of which he has a lot of. They're confident that the Galactic Patrol should be able to take on the Frieza force. The only big issue is Frieza himself. But if they're smart, they may be able to capture him somehow. And Jiren feels confident regardless. But he is on another mission right now, and this news was kinda last minute. From another end of the galaxy, he tells some of the troops to start heading to Namek, and he'll monitor the situation alongside the other higher-ups, starting their travel now to Namek. Before Frieza's army even arrives, some Galactic Patrol members go to the planet to remain under cover, warning the villages and getting them to evacuate. Eventually, the Frieza force and 2 other people descend on the planet, one of them being Vegeta, who's working by himself. He's quickly able to see the Galactic Patrol is on this planet ready to ambush the Frieza force. Vegeta is narrowly able to escape, but a lot of the Frieza soldiers aren't so lucky. They're either arrested and captured, or for those who put up a fight, they're killed. And around the same time, there is another ship that lands on the planet. The Galactic Patrol surrounds it, thinking it's a Frieza one, and they're ready to capture everyone aboard. Off the ship walks a girl with blue hair, with her arms up surrendering. Next to her are a bald man and a kid, looking ready to fight. These soldiers tell Jiren they found another person arriving on the planet and they don't seem to be with the Frieza force. What should they do? Jaco's enjoying a nice drink right now, but he does a spit take. Seeing a live video feed, he immediately recognizes who's there. There's no way! It's Bulma! Jaco tells them to immediately stand down. Those guys are allies. Although he's not sure who the Baldy and the kid are. Oh wait, he's bald too. He takes back the insult. And of course he tells them to ask Bulma why they're here. Now realizing that this is the Galactic Patrol, they're all happy. They may actually have some allies here. They explain that they're here for the Dragon Balls, looking to bring their friends back to life. The soldiers are actually pretty strong, surprising Gohan and Krillin, and they help escort this small group around the planet. Frieza eventually gets wind of what's happening and that the Galactic Patrol is there, but for some reason, their forces are so much more potent than he expected. Many Frieza soldiers are captured or even killed, as the Galactic Patrol suffers very few minor casualties due to all their efficient training and structuring. Jiren and Jaco as well as all their forces are heading towards Namek, and they should be there soon. But things are heating up because now Frieza himself descends on the planet. They didn't expect to see him so soon, but this should be good. Although, alarms begin going off on their ship, as they detect another unidentified one nearby. Using their tractor beam, they draw the ship in, and they detect a high power on board. Much like Jiren, they hold this guy at gunpoint once they bring him aboard. But Jaco tells them to drop their guns as he sees what's on the side of the ship, a logo that says Capsule Corp. So if Bulma's on Namek, this must be tights. Jaco's happy at the thought of seeing old acquaintances, but that's not who's on the ship. A man with spiky hair steps off. They scan him and identify. He's a Saiyan? What's he doing out here in space? How is he even alive? More importantly, what's he doing heading to Namek on a Capsule Corp ship? The man introduces himself as Goku, and he could tell these guys seem good. They say they're heading to defend Namek, and he tells them he's doing something similar. It's good that they found a ship since now, Goku will be able to get to Namek much faster on their much more advanced ship. In the meantime, he's going to continue his training. Jaco calls us into his troops on Namek, and they tell Bulma. Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan are all really happy to hear this. Goku's on his way and he'll be here sooner than he would have been. They still have about a day to go, so Goku continues his gravity training, utilizing the tech that the Galactic Patrol has. He's already met with Jaco, and now he ends up meeting Jiren, hearing that someone new is on the ship. Jiren doesn't really know what to think of this Saiyan. It seems he has no knowledge of his past. As a kid, Jiren remembers hearing about Planet Vegeta being destroyed, and ever since he joined the Galactic Patrol, he's learned about the Saiyans. He remembers, soon after Planet Vegeta's destruction, Jaco apparently went to Earth to stop a Saiyan from arriving. This must be the Saiyan that Jaco had to stop. Looks like he failed at his task. In a way, he can't help but feel sorry for this guy. While Goku himself probably doesn't even know it, given how young he was at the time, his race and Jiren's had a somewhat similar fate. Frieza took everything from them. And the Saiyan also does seem pretty powerful, so Jiren wants to test it. Given that they're on the ship, they can't really go all out, but they are amazed at each other's strength. But Goku could tell, Jiren seemed to be holding back, a lot. This unexpected ally of his is really strong, and Goku's getting a little bit excited. Maybe after this whole Namek thing, they could spar a bit, if Jiren isn't too busy. Back on Namek, Vegeta is alone, trying to stay undercover because he can't go into villages and get Dragon Balls. And it's not like he can leave either, his ship will be caught. He curses everyone and everything, as it slowly turned into a war for Namek, with the Galactic Patrol occupying some villages, and the Frieza Force taking control of other villages. The Galactic Patrol eventually gets some new help, in the form of warrior Namekians. The group with Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma is the strongest right now, as Nail has joined them too. Although, staying back at Guru's place to make sure he's safe. By this time they've already found 2 orphan Namekians, Cargo and Dende, and this is how they met Nail because they had to bring them to Guru. Guru unlocked the potential of these 2 kids, now acting as healers, which will be great as support as long as they have offense with them. All seems to be going well, until more ships arrive on the planet, 5 of them. In hiding, Vegeta watches, immediately knowing who these ships belong to. It's the Ginyu Force. But this may be good for him. The Ginyu Force will clean up everyone else, and then Vegeta can sneak in, steal the Dragon Balls, and get the wish. I mean, that is the best plan he has at the moment. It's not really too sound, but it's something. The Ginyu Force lands on the planet, and now the Galactic Patrol is losing a bit of confidence. Not wanting to suffer casualties, many of them are forced to retreat. They did expect this when they decided to fight the Frieza Force, but this is bad timing. They wanted to wait for Jiren, Jaco, and all the other strong soldiers to come and clean it up. But with the Ginyu Force here so unexpectedly, they now have to leave. Many Galactic Patrol soldiers retreat, waiting for backup. But as the Ginyu Force approaches, Gohan, Krillin, and now Nail joining them face off against the Ginyu Force, but they can't accomplish much. Sticking nearby is Vegeta, who was hoping to get the Dragon Balls. But that's not going to happen. He's come to learn that a lot of the Dragon Balls are hidden by the Namekian. Neither Frieza or the Galactic Patrol have them. He's watching and it seems like the group is going to die against the Ginyu Force. And even though he won't accomplish much, on a whim, he decides to jump in, revealing himself to buy some time. This is interesting. The Ginyu Force doesn't plan on killing Vegeta, but they'll capture him instead. For being a traitor and all. The Ginyu Force is about to finish off the group, but suddenly, all their scouters explode. A few other ships approach as Gohan and Krillin weakly sense what's happening. Quicker than they can even see, the Ginyu Force is dismantled, while they're approached by Jaco in the meantime. Reinforcements have arrived. Coming off the ship to defeat the Ginyu Force is the newly powered Goku and a heavily suppressed Jiren. The Ginyu Force has been captured, and Ginyu weakly tries to steal Jiren's body, but he ends up being killed. Obviously he's too dangerous to capture. Jiren does this so casually. How strong is this guy? Maybe he can help them against Frieza, who appears to be the only obstacle right now. And of course, Frieza does take notice of this. It seems his army and the Ginyu Force weren't enough. He will have to step in. The group looks in awe at Goku and Jiren, with Goku happy to see his friends and Gohan once again. But Jiren can't help but feel uneasy. He could tell. Frieza's coming. And this is where we'll leave off for now. So what did you guys think about this part? What do you think will happen next time? Will Goku and Jiren be strong enough to defeat Frieza? Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal so we can see another part. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.